Said it should be next to what?
Should be next to your actors or journal. Alternatively, let me see if I. There you go. It's on your sheet.
Okay.
Magic. Got it. All right. Stream didn't miss anything, luckily. It was just taking the long rest.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening with that. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Thank you for catching that.
Yep, no worries. At any rate, you all wake up that next morning. And are set for your next day.
Okay, on order. We've got to go to some. We're headed to some town, correct? Or is it?
Yes.
But this was just we're going through this part of the forest. It was a
Correct.
sidetrack.
Yes.
So we need to travel back to the main road and keep going.
There is a not really a road there anymore, as the town has, or the woods have vastly reclaimed what was infrastructure. But there is a city named Malaismere, which fell some time ago, and that corruption has taken over the forest.
Right.
So, Blaine?
I had a good idea to ask Yotev in the morning. I want to ask Yotev, if I shrunk this head, could I make it into like a flashlight? And I want to show him what I did with the head last night. But I'd want to be able to do it magically at any time. So that if I were to shake this thing, if I shook her head, and it's as small as my hands now, then it would turn on her lights, and I could close one of her eyelids to make it so that it was a bigger beam on one eye, or if I open both, then it's a wider beam. You know what I mean? Is that something that you can do, Yotev?
Yotev will get back to you when Ryan is back.
Okay.
He'll sleep on it.
He'll try and sleep thinking about it.
Let me sleep on it. Baby, baby, let me sleep on it.
All right.
I'll give you an answer in the morning.
How do I not be here?
Come on, that was awesome.
Your bard is dead, bro. Actually, it's a horse right now. We need to leave it that way. It's like the version of asking who sings a song. Nah, just kidding.
Brutal.
Here. I got my own knife right here. Let me just.
Oh, Jesus.
All right. What's the move?
We're gonna head where we're supposed to be going.
Okay.
The ranger's gonna lead the way.
Is the ranger gonna lead the way?
The ranger's leading the way.
Certainly can. Do we know the general direction to Malaismere?
Generally, north.
Generally.
More specifically?
Didn't you get a map before we left? Didn't we have this all mapped out of how we were supposed to go?
Yeah.
We knew.
Did we?
I thought we did.
I thought we got specific directions from.
And then we were following you.
All right. Well, I will go towards the direction that my character certainly knows
Mhm.
will get us there.
Roll a survival check.
If only you had keen sense.
This is not going to determine which way is north. You are intelligent enough to know which way is north.
I've got a compass that always
Yeah.
points north.
Oh.
Or
Unless there's
always
another
lets me know where
magnetic
north
object
is.
that causes it not to point.
Yeah.
No, because
Yeah.
mine is magical.
Okay.
It magically knows where north
What
is.
if it's a magical source?
A
Is that
magical
because-
magnet.
Yeah, is it
A
because
magical
the
source that overrides the magical magnet.
Yeah.
Wait.
I got a 21 on my roll.
21.
Holy.
So you were always gonna be able to go directly north. It was just a matter of the means by which you travel, how safely you travel, and the like. You have a couple of innate abilities that allow for easier travels and the like, as well as an orb of direction that tells you north. But as you continue to move, you climb over fallen trees, these sort of mangled roots. You watch as there are these sort of strange creatures calling out in the middle of the forest. A deep, unsettling fog washes over all of you, sort of hiding your feet from you. You can only see so far down. It sort of cuts off at the upper thigh. And as you travel through upper calf, sorry, much shorter. As you travel through, you're able to use your senses and your sensibilities to safely have your party travel. Eventually, however, you spot a couple of things that give you pause. Trees that seem to have a odd appearance to them, like a coloration that seems off, or sickly. The bark and leaves are brown, red, blue, purple, gray, like sort of these strange colors to all of them. There are these slight cracks in the earth that almost emanate this sort of black, purple, and red hue from the gashes in the ground.
Where have you led us, Aiden? What is this shit?
It's the Savalier Wood. I think they mentioned that the city is kind of fallen to ruin.
Oh, for cry aye.
As you travel, Aiden and Kenji, the both of you notice off in the distance, probably at this point, one of the least welcoming sights that you guys can find, given your history. There's a singular lone cottage
Oh no.
in the woods.
Oh no.
I will say this right off the bat. This does not look like Jeff,
We don't know what Jeff looks like.
as that is you've seen Jeff.
Jeff's a
We've seen
shapeshifter.
Jeff. We don't know if we can change. I'm gonna take out.
You're right.
No, I'm taking
Jeff
out
is
the
a
fucking
shapeshifter.
Azrahari. I'm gonna look her in the face. I say, "Is this you?" And I'm gonna point her there, and her jaw's gonna drop. And then I'm gonna look back at her.
At any rate, you see around it is a open field with these little stone stones scattered amongst the clearing. The roots and corruption of the forest have spread pretty far into this clearing, but they seem to almost stop as it gets close to the front door. There's just this little patch of green where the corruption does not reach, surrounding the home itself.
I'd like to propose to the party, hard nope, turn around and go the other way.
Gillian, what do you think? You're the one that has the Jeff issues.
It doesn't appear to be the same.
What if Jeff has another sister? What if it's like a trio, like Cassandra's family? Oh God, what if there's 4 of them? What if they form a block, like a city block of houses?
Well, I'm down to kill every single one of them.
Oh, well, that is true. All right, well,
I think we should check it out. Aiden,
Sure. Can I get, like, within 60 feet and just try to, like, nudge the door open with my mage hand?
Oh.
Sure. As you travel down, there's these. You notice you have to get pretty far into the stones. You notice that a lot of these stones are probably about 2.5, 3 feet off the ground, covered in vines that overgrow them. Strange plants seem to grow in and around these stones. You have to pass through a couple. There's these small fences that seem to circle, and as you get over this small fence, there seems to be a second small fence. Get over that, there's a third small fence. There's a lot of like barriers that you have to cross. You stop within 60 feet. You mentally push on the door. It opens. It's a warm lit interior. Smell of something herbal and sweet. And a moment later, you hear a confused voice that comes from within going, "Well, how'd that happen?" A form sort of makes it their way over to the front door. Are you guys hiding or just standing out in the open, or what's the play?
Oh, we'll be out in the open.
Okay.
I'm not good at hiding. I mean,
You notice this tall, gray-skinned man. Half the head is shaven, the other half is this long thing of braided pink hair. A slightly bovine face with like a big sort of rounded ear, long rounded ear. Bright teal green armor, almost like a beetle's carapace, and a coat over top of it, who sort of wanders out, staff in hand, and looks at the door up and down, and looks out and goes, "Oh, visitors, terribly sorry. Are you..." Sort of looks around and goes, "Do you still have the head out, Kenji?"
Yeah.
Sort of looks over at you and goes, "Oh, I see you're here with, business, I suppose. Come on in. We can get that, taken care of. Is that all you have?"
What?
Is that all you have?
What do you think I want to do with this?
Sort of gestures around you. Says, I assume you want to inter them.
Oh.
Don't know why else you'd bring a body to a graveyard.
Oh, I have all of her, but she is not being interred. That would be too nice for her.
Puts the staff down a bit and leans on a little heavily and goes, in that case, I'm not quite sure. I apologize. I rushed to assumptions. Is there something that I can help you with?
Where's,
I don't know.
We're headed to Malaismere. What's the best direction to get there?
Oh. Sort of takes a step back. Yeah, not a lot of people really travel there intentionally, but he sort of takes a few steps out, gestures over to the edge of the clearing, goes, about 20 minutes that way is a river. If you would like, you can take that river north. It should lead you directly there.
And what are you doing, Mr. Colorful Riches there? You said this is a graveyard?
I'm here for it.
That's right. The Boneyard.
The Boneyard. How original.
He sort of sticks the staff in the ground and it grows a bit of roots into it and becomes freestanding. He says, this is, the Blooming Grove. A place where we take the dearly departed people who've done well and people who have lived good lives. We put them into the earth that has been touched by the Wild Mother. I assumed, sort of gestures over towards Kenji, that your friend had brought someone that they wished to inter here, but
She's
seems
not led
as-
a good life. Is that why it's still green and not all tainted like, over there?
He gets a little bit of a sad look and goes, it's part of it. We've tried very hard to stave off the incursion, but no matter how many lines of defenses I put up, it seems to press in more and more each day. But the hallowed ground still stands for now.
What's causing the incursion?
Yeah, what is this incursion?
Well, ironically, it's where you all find yourselves headed. Whatever happened in Malaismere has tainted these woods, has caused the forests to grow dark. It's slowly taking over the grove.
Have
Sorry,
you
what was your
been?
name again?
Caduceus. Caduceus Clay.
Deuce.
Are these you said these were all gravestones?
They are.
Are these mushrooms growing on top of some of these?
Sorry.
Mushrooms, tea, flowers,
You eat them?
herbs. You can. I do. And I make tea from some, if you'd like. Sort of gestures to the cottage.
I would love some tea, and I will walk up and walk inside.
Excellent. You are all welcome if you'd like.
Oh, what do you say, Killian? Yotev?
A short walking break sounds okay.
We're trapped here for the rest of our lives.
Caduceus picks up the staff, the roots. The moment that his hand touches it, the roots retract back into it. He uses it as a cane to walk himself back inside. As he sits down, he takes out this small kettle and begins to boil water for some tea.
Not to be rude, but what race are you?
Oh, Furbold.
Furbold.
Mr. Clay, have you been to Malaismere yourself?
I haven't, no. Though there are those who have. Some have stopped here for nights. Some have attempted to take advantage of the hospitality of the Grove in an attempt to use it as a stopping point, a waypoint for their less than ideal businesses.
Did a group of, and I will describe the Mordoon people, come through here recently?
They have, though they have not stayed long. I informed them I do not wish to affiliate with that sort of business and told them to be on their way.
How long ago was that?
About 1-2 weeks.
Week or two.
I'm gonna straight up lie to him and say that we've been hired to try to track them down as thieves or whatever.
He begins to pour tea. Make a deception check for me.
Oh god. I like you a lot, Snooky.
Natural 20, baby.
Okay.
Plus 4. That's a 24. 24. First roll of the night. That's either good or bad. I don't know.
You cast Fireball.
As he sort of nods, believing that is the reason you came, and not really wanting to press either way. He pours out the tea into these little clay cups for all 6 of you, and he goes and he sits down and says, there are a lot of people who wish to take advantage of the situation in Malayasmere, steal artifacts, and sell them to those that lost their home. It's an unfortunate event, but either way.
How long ago did this happen? We're new to the area, but we got hired by the local authorities.
I believe it was about 250 years ago.
Oh, so pretty recently.
Let the old man tell a story, or whatever he is. A furbold. Never even heard of a furbold.
We met a Furbolg already.
Yeah.
I just don't know if we specified it, but what's his face?
Pumat Soul.
Pumat Soul is a Furbolg.
Oh,
They're rare. They're few and far between.
All good. I've never met a Furbolg I didn't like.
That's when he left. I don't know. A time.
An indescribable amount of time.
Indiscernible amount of time,
Yeah,
yes.
there you go. Yeah.
Was the question when Malayasmere happened?
Yeah. Well, how long ago? Because I don't know exactly the year that you guys are.
Okay, I was
Running
gonna say
around.
something I looked
I was
up,
just
but
trying
it
to make
was-
some, conversation.
Yeah. They'll give you a year.
Yeah.
It's been long enough to where most non-elves would have, wouldn't remember it, but elves live long enough to where it was within their lifetime.
Yes.
I believe it was
long-lived
around
races would
250
know,
years.
and to the rest of us, we're a generation or two past.
Right.
Good.
Says,
What do you know
Uh,
of
580.
the Hollower? We've heard some rumors.
I've dealt with a number of adventurers who have, or townsfolk, I suppose, who were desperate enough to seek out the Hollower. And
What's their
after,
story?
oh, she's been here for longer than I have. She's, a bit of a troublemaker in the area. Some sort of arcane practitioner who corrupts those who are desperate and takes advantage of them in their time of need. An unfortunate sort, really.
Hmm. And what about, you heard of a Lucas Bailey? We ran into him too.
He nods and goes, Bailey, yeah. He and some of his friends were traveling through here, a good 7, 8 months ago.
Oh.
How many friends?
Sort of thinks to himself for a moment. 4 or 5, and
Sorry, it's the the police investigation in me. I'm
Sure,
very inquisitive.
sure.
Did you just tell me you're a police officer?
Yeah.
Varnak's the
Jesus.
cop.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I already said we were with the law looking for the Mordoon family people. Has he drank any of the tea yet? Did he?
Oh,
did he pour from the. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll take a drink of it.
This man's been imbibing poison most of his life, and you're just gonna take a casual
That's
sip.
fine. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's good. It's unique. I don't think I don't know how familiar you are with tea. You're definitely more of a coffee person,
Correct,
from what
correct.
I've gathered. But it's a little bit more herbal than what I think you would normally like. It's less of a black tea, more of like a oolong or a white.
Okay.
It's good.
What one did this one come from?
Hmm?
What one did this one come from? Like, where did this tea come from?
Oh, my apologies. This came from a more recent family to have graced us with their presence.
It's very delicious.
This came from the this came from an Elric Tavel. He and his younger sister seem to grow this sort of tea from time to time.
And you said they're new here? They live in the forest?
The family themselves are new. No, they don't do much living anymore.
They don't do much living anymore.
He's saying that the tea came from them, from like the grave site. That's what you're drinking. That's why I asked.
Elric grows this tea himself.
Yeah.
I see.
It's very
I see.
good. It's like a hint of like citrus in it.
Mm.
It's very good.
Do you do coffee? Do you know coffee?
I'm familiar with coffee.
I'll hand him my flask and let him try that.
Sort of sniffs it at first, and you almost see like the shudder go down his back. He sort of looks up at you to see if this is you must, like, if you're gonna take it back or if you're gonna sit there and wait for him to drink it.
He's gonna be jumping
Oh,
around for
wait.
hours. Don't make him do it.
He sort of looks resigned after noticing that and does take a sip. And puts it down and goes, strong, very different than what I'm used to.
It's
Mhm.
no Elric.
I'll put it back. I'll take a big swig of it to wash the taste of that tea out.
Some of the finest coffee in the world, right there.
Interestingly, actually, given your string of questions, Elric was one of the folks that had recently come into contact with this hollower that you speak of.
Oh.
How
Is
recent?
he and his sister were interred here probably 10 years ago, 11 years ago. Recent for here is a vague term. There are people that have been a part of this grove for over 500 years.
Recent is measured in decades.
Exactly.
And how long have you been here?
I myself was born here. So about 80-ish, something like that. It's hard
Can
to
I-
keep track.
Are your parents here?
No, sort of looks down. It looks a little bit uncomfortable, but we'll say
Oh,
my parents, my aunt, my brother, both of my sisters have all left at various times in the last couple of years.
your parents are still alive?
Pauses and looks uncertain, goes, as far as I know.
All right, let's just do some math here. So he's 80.
Mm-hmm.
Furbolg's lived for a long time.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I'm just trying to see how, like, he would know what happened to Malaeus Mir. Because his parents would have seen it.
Well, he's 80, so potentially his
Right.
parents have seen it, but he wouldn't have seen it, or maybe he would have gotten it secondhand.
I'm saying he's not getting it like third hand. He would be
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
it
yeah.
first
He would
hand
be.
from
It would
parents.
not, like you were saying, it would be 2 or 3 generations. I think he would definitely be in 2 generations. He would be the
Right.
second generation.
Right.
Yes.
Because things that we have lived through, your kids are going to know because you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You've
yeah.
told them.
Can I ask Cassandra
You
to
got
look
any
up?
questions?
Can I ask Cassandra to look up the name in that book of contracts?
Yeah. Sort of quickly skimming through. There is no there is no Elric Tavel.
Would she have mentioned that there were blank pages before?
Yeah.
Would it be reasonable?
Make a
to-
investigation check for her, please, Michael.
19.
19. She sort of skims through the first time and doesn't see it, but circles back through to go a little bit slower. There is not an Elric Tavel, but there is a Tavel. A Lucian Tavel.
If she says that, I'm gonna ask what the deal was and how to get rid of the thing.
Looking down on it, give me a moment.
Un momento.
So many good names.
Excuse me, sorry.
That's the singing, not a yawn.
Quick amendment. It wouldn't have been a Lucian Tavel. It would have been a different Tavel. And it would have stated that the individual in question had asked for their son back, who had died, killed by a member of the Jagged Toth family. And when that son came back, they came back very much like you, Kenji. And Lucian sort of in that the deal was broken not because the price was paid, not because the exchange was nullified, but because a third party to the deal, not the parents and not this Elric, but a third member had some third party had gotten rid of the rest. So it's there, but it seems as though this deal is broken by a different means that caused it to remain in the book.
So, do I get the sense that anytime somebody dies, then that would be a blank page? That their contract no longer really matters, and so that
Make an insight check.
Oh yeah, baby. It's an 11 plus 8 for 19.
That's close. It's more that when the deal is resolved, it goes away. But in this instance, this Tavel individual, that deal was never resolved. Therefore, the deal remains.
For sure. Okay, cool. So, just like if we wanted to, we could use this as like a tracker. If we resolve these deals, that they would start blanking themselves out.
Right.
Interesting.
To make room for more.
Yeah, so like I assume that it would be at like the closest blank page that it would fill in again for the next deal that would have been made, and it would constantly like kind of update itself before going to like a brand new one.
It's hard to say because there's not like dates on any of them, but that's a theory.
Yeah. Who organizes things alphabetically anyways? Psychopaths, dude. Nobody's got time for that. You just kind of stack them where they lie. All right, cool.
At any rate, he checks that, and Caduceus sort of mentions, if you are all headed up into Malleus Mir, I would hope that you all keep yourselves safe. I have a vested interest in the people of this city, of this area. This is my home, and we survive off of the people of Shady Creek and beyond who require our services. And while I'm sure that Melora watches over us and will allow us to remain here, as this is one of her more ancient sanctums. Your safety is paramount, just to ensure that we continue to have individuals to eventually join our gardens. He does sort of look around and go, you had asked about my parents, and they all left one by one in order to sort of try to see if they can reverse the encroaching nature of this curse. And so far, no return.
Do you want to come with us?
Oh, no. No. I appreciate it, but my job is to remain here. Someone has to watch over the grove.
Barnack's take another drink of his coffee.
He'll pour a seventh, or I guess an eighth cup of tea, since it isn't of his own. Say, if you'll excuse me one moment, I need to deliver this. And he grabs off of the counter a couple of herbs and a mortar and pestle, and sort of grinds it up. Adds a little bit of this paste to it, and molds it into a small sort of glob, and takes a leaf and wraps the leaf around it to make effectively like a makeshift pill, and walks around towards a side room, leaving you here for a moment to discuss and converse. And we're going to take this as a quick opportunity to go on break.
No, I get it. Every time we play, I pull up Wormwood and start looking at dice trays and
Welcome back. We got distracted. It's fine. At any rate, so Caduceus sort of wanders off for a moment. You have this time alone if you would like to talk about what your plan is, if you want to ask him something or do something here. You have a brief moment.
We're gonna probably figure out who the else in this house, and I'm pretty sure you got the directions for that river, so we can get there quicker.
What are we doing when we get to the river?
Going north, follow the river north. Go right to it. It'll lead us right to it. That's what he said.
So just like along the river, but not on the river.
Yes.
Yes.
Does it matter?
I just wondered if we had a boat to quicken the travel.
Hmm. I see.
Why
And we
don't-
have a tent that makes a weird house. I would imagine you guys had like a piece of wood that made a boat or something.
That is a good point.
I can't take you serious sometimes.
After a moment, Caduceus comes back, sort of wandering back with an empty teacup and no pill, puts the teacup back on the shelf. Says, I'm glad that I was able to give you all a brief moment and some direction. But, I'm hoping if there's anything else I can do for you, I can go ahead and get that done, and I'll let you be on your way.
Hopefully it's a number of years before we come and visit to inter somebody with you, but who's to say?
Well, if you just want to swing by and say hi, that's also welcome.
I mean, we could
Okay.
also do that.
Cassandra will speak up and be like, are you able to help with a curse?
I've been known to handle such things in the past, yes.
Oh, snap.
I think she'll look at Kenji and be like, we should try to remove the curse, referencing one of your dolls.
Which one?
Azur.
Kenji will open up the bag of holding.
Mm-hmm.
There's such in the middle of this room.
Mm-hmm.
I will shove so her body, headless, hanging half out. I will dive in. 7 to 17 dolls, you can pick a number, fly out with marionette strings hanging all over his place before I find it. And then I will get out and I will shove her back in. And give him the doll and then start picking up the 7 to 17 of them.
Sort of holds the doll in front of him and flips it over. Flips it over once more.
She'll explain.
Interesting.
Cassandra will explain that this was another victim of the Hollower, and that we have a suspicion that we might be able to get him out of his contract and restore him by removing a curse. And Aiden will hold up the little bit of blood he was able to salvage from Lucas.
Well, looks at the sort of grabs the blood, puts that down, and looks at the doll again. And goes, your doll here. Where exactly did you get this? And actually, all of them. As he sort of looks around at the ones that Kenji's still putting back in his bag.
I mean, they were hers, and I'll show him the skull that we've. But she's not calling the shots anymore. Like we said, this would be too nice for her right now. But she's gonna make a fantastic flashlight.
Lantern.
Yep, lantern.
Looks down at the doll. And this one is one of hers.
Me? No. This blue one?
No.
Yes.
We're not so sure that you're not, Kenji.
Nope.
You-
Not after the shit she pulled.
You happen to know anything about this one?
He's not a great adventurer, but I think he's got a family.
We've met him once.
He might be a lycanthrope.
He
I'll be right back, I suppose. I've got a question to ask. And he picks up the doll and starts to walk back towards the back again.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Who's back there?
More travelers who need assistance. If I'm right, this may be one of theirs.
This
Are
may
they-
be one of theirs.
Can I
Are they
sneak?
with the brigade, the Darrington
Careful,
Brigade.
come take a look. They're with the brigade.
Sure. If you don't mind waiting outside for a moment before I want to ask if they're comfortable with guests real quick. But I don't see why not. And he'll wander over, knock on a door and enter. And you'll hear like a muffled sort of conversation before he opens the door and gestures for you all to come in. You see that he's no longer holding the doll. The doll is currently being held by the blonde-haired archer of the Darrington Brigade, who is like clutching it a little tightly, and is like looking rather a little sickly, like as if the sight of him as a doll is just generally upsetting. You see that there is a older looking man in the corner, blonde hair, he's got his arms crossed and he's leaned back, staring at the wizard, who's laid down in a bed. He has one leg sort of like up in a awkward position, but as you sort of take a closer look at it, the leg from the like just above the knee down is petrified stone. And the two sort of look, all three of them sort of look over, and Virgil goes, "Oh, it is you from the brigade, right? I'm shocked to see you all the way across Wildmount like this, but welcome sight.
Shocked to see you all here.
But what brings you all to the Savalier?
We got hired to do a job.
Sounds familiar.
Seems like we ran into the same person you did.
Did you?
Well, how else did Mr. Tiefling become a doll?
Right. You see the
I mean,
the
it doesn't take 2 and 2 to make 4 to understand that.
the wizard on the bed with a half petrified foot says, so you took, how'd you get him? Did you have to trade for him?
Sure.
Well, We ended up leaving with a lot more than him, and she ended up getting nothing. Well, she kind of lost her head over it.
He wasn't very happy.
Well, I would imagine, and I am familiar with the term losing your head. Yes,
Go ahead, Kenji. Pull it out.
No, she looked kind of. Well, it's already been out. That thing never leaves. We have a lot of good conversations.
Are you? It's still out.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, they kind of just now notice it then and look down, and the wizard goes a little green at just seeing a decapitated head. And,
Hi, sorry I was mean to you. I'll move
the archer woman just sort of looks over and shakes her head and goes, "That's what she fucking deserves."
Yep.
Reason why we were better than you back then, still are now.
Jesus Christ.
She takes it on the chin, but is visibly annoyed. But we'll look over at you and go, "Thank you for getting him."
There was only one, right? That she got of you?
Yes, it was just Asher.
Okay. Do you think these dolls breathe? Do you think they need air? They just like suddenly open the bag again. It's been 10 minutes.
I don't. Do you need air?
It's a good question. I don't think that I've ever tried.
Do you breathe?
I really
Think you would-
don't. I really don't know.
Well,
Do I breathe?
you either do or you don't. I would imagine you're the only one able to answer whether you breathe or not.
Do I breathe?
I don't know. Do you?
I see. I would imagine
You're
not.
the only one that can answer
Oh.
that. Even I, the
That was
DM,
in-
cannot answer that. Do you breathe?
Yeah, I'll pick him up, shake him.
Yep, he breathes. Look, see,
No.
air goes right through him.
But like in terms of chest rising and stuff, no, probably not.
That's how I dry him out when he gets
Yeah.
wet.
Warforged do not need to eat, drink, or breathe. So you
Oh,
don't
they-
have to breathe. But I'm asking you, does Kenji go like
Oh,
as though he's breathing, or does he not?
I thought that
I'm
was
a
a
real
fucking
boy.
yeah. I think that Kenji doesn't breathe, but he will make the imitation that he is breathing by like trying to raise and lower his chest. Most of the things because he wants to be whole and he's not yet.
Mhm.
I think that he just
wants
mocks
friends.
imitations of life to appear. He masks a lot of like stuff to be like what he sees from other people.
Sure. Like, you probably also don't, because your eyes aren't fleshy, they don't need to blink in order to stay moist. You probably also don't have to blink, but you, like, every so often you remember, oh yeah, people blink, and we're like,
Yeah. Just conscious
Very-
efforts of like thousands of tasks that other people just do naturally because they are fully human,
Yeah.
that they just do, that Kenji will try and mimic.
yeah. There'll be times where you, like, forget that breathing is a thing that people do, and you'll go, like, 4 hours without doing it, then
Yeah.
at, like, noon, you'll take your first breath for the day. But let's say, the wizard will speak up and say, well, I imagine if you don't breathe, that more than likely that the other dolls wouldn't, but, I mean, I suppose it's something that you could test, but that is sort of gambling with their lives that they do require air. Caduceus will step in at this point and say, some of your dolls may be able to be freed if I have enough time with them. Would that be something you're willing to let me work on?
I mean, yeah, we could. I mean, yeah. Do you need all of them, or and I just
Um,
collect them on the way back?
I would need as many as I would need them physically in order to heal them for sure.
How much space do you have?
The entire grove, I suppose.
Okay, so I will go outside and I will start laying them like 40 in like a couple rows. But they're all like, instead of facing like outward from the door, they'll all be in like a semicircle, so when he exits they all look at him.
Sure.
Yeah. Just like a really haunting sight.
Well, Kenji's
He-
done that. Go ahead.
While
Go
Ken's
ahead.
just doing that.
I was just gonna say I'll talk to the archer and be
Mhm.
like,
What's Darrington got you all up here doing?
There was some noble whose son got infected by this lycanthrope band here in the Savalier. Who's supposed to come and avenge and bring back that beast.
You
When
got
we
a
finally
name?
try.
Of the sun?
Of the sun was a
so it's not Lucas.
no, it was Caius Reach.
Okay.
You know any of the lycanthropes you were looking for?
We found the group, the pack, I suppose. We're able to kill a number of them, but the leader, the one that we were hired to kill, she sort of looks a little uncomfortable, but says, I didn't see it sneaking up. He got the drop on me. Azure jumped in the way and got bit. Hence, and she sort of gestures towards the doll.
So you made a deal with the Hollower to have him not be a lycanthrope, and she turned him into a doll.
The wizard on the table, on the bed, sort of speaks up at this point and goes, I thought I was being smart and asking for her to
Mm-hmm.
stop him from turning, and as opposed to anything else, and she decided that the best way to do that was to turn him into wood, I guess.
And what about your leg?
That is something else.
Mm-hmm.
Archer will cut it back and go, Gorgon. In the woods.
Gorgon in the woods. Okay.
Got a day further into the woods and was immediately in trouble again. Being one person down is sort of rough, especially since Azure was our sort of looks uncomfortable saying it. He was the one in front taking the brunt of the blows, and with him out,
What did the leader of the lycanthropes look like? Did he have silver half plate and silver greatsword, maybe?
no.
Okay.
I don't know what I suppose he might have. I don't know what he looked like when he was in his human form, but he's a stark white werewolf.
I don't know. Did we get a description of him as a werewolf?
You did. He was not white.
Okay.
He was like dark black with like some gray to him, just like how his hair is.
I
But
gotcha. I couldn't remember.
Yep.
You just
he says, is the sort of urban legend around here by the name of Silverfang. We tried to hunt him back down without Azure, and then it did not go well. So she sort of clutches the doll a little bit as she's holding it. Goes, "There's something that can be done. We'll stay here until Doug is back up on both feet, and see if Caduceus can help with Azure as well. Thank you again."
And what's the bounty for this silver fang?
It's over towards the bookie who's still in the bed, and goes, I believe the initial ask was for 10,000 gold, and it was going to work out to be about 2,000 each for all of us, and 2,000 for the guild.
And he was going to pay the guild? Or you
Yes. He was going to pay the guild, and then once we returned with Silver Fangs, the pelt or hide or whatever other proof we could gather of his demise, he would send money to Tarion, and we would receive payment.
So you weren't going to get payment direct?
No, all money goes through the brigade.
I'll mentally say to Kenji,
And 10,000 gold, but I don't want to have to deal with Darrington. Doty I didn't mind, but that Darrington fella.
We should just get
Okay.
10,000 gold and just buy Doty. I think that would be the right choice. Think of how many
Hey,
dolls we could keep inside of Doty. Wouldn't that be incredible?
I'm gonna ask the archer. You said you tried to track them, or track it, and it didn't go well. What happened?
ran into a Gorgon.
That, yes, ran into the Gorgon.
Did you have leads though? Do you know where it is?
I had him marked, so it was easier, but that's worn off by now.
The Gorgon?
No, the
Silver Fang.
Oh.
That was the only thing I was going off of. I know that the group is nomadic, so there's not a singular location. They've
You
been
don't know how many are left. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
well. We know that there are 8 less, but that's it. The group themselves, I know that they've typically stay to the northern half of the Savalier. They are they tend to stick to the more frozen aspects of the Grang Wildlands. I think, if anything, a number of them are people that came down from Uthadern and never returned because of the lycanthropy that they've received.
If I have a look at their party and gauge them in comparison to ours,
Mm-hmm.
what would we be talking about level-wise?
Make an insight check for me.
That's not good. That's a 9 plus 8 for 17.
17 is not bad. You get the sense that they're a little bit lower than y'all, but not by much. However, being a party of 4 versus a party of 6 is a pretty big,
Yeah.
power difference. The 2 extra people alone is pretty big.
But Kenji's just basically doing just mental math in terms of if versus this pack, how they did versus what we have going on.
With with being at least 1 or 2 levels above them and having 2 more people, y'all probably would have a much easier time dealing with this. Plus, they did
That's-
kill, like they said, 8. So that's
Yeah.
a good thinning of the herd.
Yeah. I think that
Yeah,
we
but
could
we
do
don't have
this.
a way to. But we don't have a way of getting the money for this unless we go straight to the guy and be like, "Yeah, we're not part of the brigade, but we killed him, so we know that you were going to pay 10 grand."
We just, you know what? We have a really cool raven that we could use. We just send him a message. Surely he's less than 12 hours away. So we can get the response.
Let's get the. I don't know. Do we want to sidetrack above board? Do we want to sidetrack for this or not?
I mean, we could fuck him up for 10,000 gold. And then we could go and buy Dodie.
I'll mention just sort of above board. This is just another side quest in your log. This doesn't need to be done immediately. You're not like gonna lose it if you don't go now. There's some stuff that will be like time sensitive, but this isn't gonna be one of them.
Who says that now?
Any
We're-
chance I get to make that group look like complete idiots that
Mhm.
they are, I want to take. But
Not what I'm in it for whatsoever. But I'm
No.
here for you, dude.
you know
We
what I'm
can-
saying?
We can follow the river north, and if we get like a trail of them, then maybe we could split off if we find it like before Malayasmere, and otherwise we could go to Malayasmere first.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
I'll ask one last thing of the archer. We know the kid's name. What? Who was your contract with?
Sterinovis Reach.
Could have what?
Sterinovis Reach.
Oh, Sterinovis. I thought you said of the Reach, and I was like, I think I missed the first name.
I'm gonna attempt to spell that.
Good luck.
There's 8 apostrophes in there, dude. Go.
It's some there's some fucking fantasy bullshit to that spelling, I'll be honest.
They took like a really straightforward name, and they're like, fantasy. Bunch of-
Sterinovis.
Sterinovis is not
Sterinovis.
straightforward.
Dude, that's totally straightforward. I'm gonna name my kid that. My 3rd kid.
I look forward to that.
Sterinovis.
You show me that fucking birth certificate when that happens.
Done.
Got it.
It's gonna be Bob, pronounced Sterinovis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll pull out my new holy symbol
Mm-hmm.
and I'll pray. I'll do benediction for him, right? In draconic,
Mm-hmm.
then put it back.
Hope you all fare well. We'll see.
What does benediction give him?
Nothing. I'm just
Oh.
you know, being the holy guy that I am.
I thought that you were casting ceremony, and I thought
No, no,
benediction
no,
was
no, no,
one
no,
of
no.
the things. I was like, what features are you giving them right now?
No.
Speaking of the holy guy, Kenji, you have set up all of these dolls outside, and
An amphitheater.
yeah, in an amphitheater format. And Caduceus comes outside and he looks over all of them and goes, "Well, I can only really do a small number a day."
I mean, Cassandra, here, quickly, give the book to Caduceus, and maybe you can handpick some.
Just leave them all. We're not gonna be back in a few days.
No, I'm saying, with the book, at least he knows the things he needs to do. I don't think remove curse is just gonna do the thing, right? But no pressure on you. But the ones that you don't do are coming with me.
Well, the ones I don't do will be the ones that I'm not able to.
Oh, perfect.
It'll be good for you to take them to a different healer to
Mm-hmm.
cleanse them.
Never had so many friends in my life.
Just Cassandra, hand over the book.
Does she have, like, any reason, like, were there any names that she recognized that she would want to hold on to it for any reason, or, like, any mention towards, anything that could have possibly been involving, Zarina?
Oh. No, this is specifically for deals that Ashahari would have made. I don't think anything would tie back to her.
Okay. If she had pretty thoroughly investigated it, so I think if that's the case, she'd be willing to leave it here to help them.
Caduceus sort of goes through the book and starts to find people that match the descriptions and sort of pulls them out and reads over. He you watch as he sort of lumbers over using the staff and picks some flowers from one grave and then grabs some berries off of another and comes back and performs a like melds together some herbs and sort of spreads them on the top of the head of one of them and casts remove curse. And you watch as the shoulder pops and extends, and as it does, there's a tearing sound, like fallen lumber, as the wood tears, and underneath, bright pink, like almost like the skin under a scab, comes bursting out of the arm, and it quickly both grows and sheds like a cocoon, and a full butt naked human man like is fully on all fours, breathing heavily as he emerges. He has like a full scraggly beard, and a long hair that goes over his like hangs down around his face. As he looks up, he looks confused and across at everyone and goes, "What happened?" And Caduceus sort of grabs his cloak, wraps it around the guy and says, "Don't worry, you're doing all right now. Your chronic, your disease is gone. Let's get you inside." And he sort of
Aiden.
But ask the guy.
What's the last thing you remember, fella?
I was traveling to go see the witch.
How
Looks
long
around
ago
and
was
goes,
that?
"Oh,
What year was it?
Please don't ask that. Then we have to do math. Let him figure how many years it was.
it was 792." Caduceus kind of grimaces a little bit, goes, We've got some history to catch you up on." And the guy goes, "Wait, why? What year is it? What are you talking about?" He just goes, "Oh, just 833. But we'll catch you up, don't you worry." And leads him inside. Gets the guy a fresh pair of clothes, which is all Caduceus's clothes, which is far too big for this man. That guy's like 5'10". Caduceus is well over 6 feet, so he's all hanging off of him a bit. And he comes back out and has a set of clothes prepared this time, places it down, and you see he continues this process. Caduceus has the ability to cast this spell 8 times a day. So 8 of the 40 come back one by one, as they As they do, you see a halfling, a dwarf, a half orc, a number of folks all coming back one by one as they pop back into their normal fleshy forms. And one by one, Caduceus covers them in the cloak, hands them clothing, instructs them to go inside, and tells them that there is a pot of fresh, warm tea waiting for them. As one by one, Caduceus goes to fucking work. And your
Aiden.
40 is now 32.
Aiden, I have a question.
What is it?
Is that... I'm scared. Is that what's going to happen to me when I hit puberty?
I don't think I could begin to understand what might happen to you, or when or what puberty would be for you.
That
or
looks like it.
whether
That looks
you've
like it hurts.
Already had it happen.
Oh, Kenji, I wouldn't worry about it, man. You'll be fine. You'll be
You-
good.
Is like a pink little thing just shot out of wood. I don't understand.
See, I'll try to explain. They're human, or flesh and blood.
Well, I mean, they all look kind of like Kenji's, but to start out with,
No.
and then huge ass arms
They
shot out
were-
of them.
They were like me and got shrunk down. and
You're a
put in-
dragon. We didn't even do it right then.
As you say that, like a copper dragonborn explodes from a little doll.
Holy fuck.
Kenji, you might be a dragon.
I'm still cocooned, apparently.
I don't think so, Kenji.
Guys, we need to figure out how I cannot grow up.
I don't. Think
I
you
need to stay young forever.
Okay. Got it.
This,
Next
and we're gesturing
Alchemy.
over at them, looks painful.
next alchemist we see, we'll get you some age potions, and you just stay the same age.
That will settle Kenji a little bit.
And by that, above board, I'll just be buying him placebo water potions and say, here's an age potion.
Fuck. I'm gonna incite you every single fucking time.
By the end of this process, Caduceus has helped those that he can, and he goes through the book and he says that I have the material for everyone here, and I think I've correctly assigned each person to their unique circumstance, all except for our tiefling friend. He without the blood of this Silver Fang, I don't think I'll be able to bring him back.
The fuck?
Don't we have the blood from Bailey?
That's not Silverfang.
We do, but we determined it's not the same lycanthrope.
But
They
he
need
was
the
made
exact
by
same
that.
one.
So would the DNA be there?
Well, Bailey wasn't made by Silverfang either. He was made into. He was
by that
given
pack.
Blood Hunter powers by.
Yeah. He became a blood hunter. Like, he gained, like, adventurer type skills through the Azrahari. So being a
Okay.
blood hunter was given to him. And then to get rid of that is the own process. But then only Silverfang is the one that I believe bit. What is it, Azure?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bit Azure. And so we need that, not like an offspring of Silverfang. Which there would probably be many, considering he's kind of like a boss man. Causing people to go through aggressive amounts of puberty in front of our eyes. Alright, are we going? What is happening here? I cannot watch any more of this.
It is over.
Oh. It's still
and it is
flashing
up to
before
y'all.
my eyes. All 8 of
Sure.
them, over and over again.
Sure.
Can't just unsee something like that.
I'll just say to Caduceus,
Needless to say, you won't be having to do this anymore for dolls.
That will be that'll be good news. This is sort of concerning to watch. Good, because helping people, but I'm running out of clothes.
I think that I've seen people weave shirts out of grass that's long enough.
Mm.
You might want to get some of these 40 dolls slash people to start weaving shirts.
Or, you know, hey, after 200 and some years, 100, whatever it is, birthday suit's not bad.
I don't think that we're trying to start up a nudist colony here, Varnex.
I will say, those of you that paid attention, which would at the very least probably be Cassandra, the ones that after Caduceus is done, they do vanish from the page.
boy, if we run into her again, she's gonna be pissed.
I think she might also be significantly weaker. Considering she kind of lost her brain.
Do you
In
think
her
she works
head.
like you, Kenji? The
Oh!
soul jeweler?
Caduceus,
Hmm.
do you have mending?
It's a good question.
Be right back.
This motherfucker can cast Remove Curse 8 times, but does not have mending.
He did not pick up mending.
This motherfucker. Now he's just doing it
He
to
has
spite me.
Thaumaturgy, Spare the Dying, Sacred Flame, Resistance, Light Guidance, and Decompose.
Thematic.
Lo siento.
Fuck. I'll look over at, what's his face? He didn't pick up mending today, did he?
I'm not gonna make the character decision for Ryan.
Oh, I figured that Killian was playing Ryan.
I don't know if I would make the decision either.
Oh my god. I'm gonna have to keep on sending DMs to people. Alright,
you
I'm
right?
getting moving.
Yeah. The dolls are carefully moved inside the house and placed on one of this cabinets, sort of all lined up. The people that have been freed from this curse are resting, and Caduceus has tasked the 2 members capable of long-range travel, i.e., the 2 non-petrified ones, to take these folks back to Shady Creek. And you actually watch as Caduceus takes some gold, puts them into each person's hand, so that they have a little something to try to travel with to find their way home, or to potentially start up a brand new life in the instance of the guy who's been dead for, 40 something years.
His family's
that.
surely just old.
And you also catch Caduceus kindly asking if, giving gold to Sadie and Virgil and asking if they could go buy more clothing. I need something to be able to put these folks in. You are all your 40 dolls lighter and a book lighter.
I'd like to
Caduceus.
give 10 gold to Conducius to help with the cost of the clothing items.
He looks down at it and smiles and goes, You're too kind. I appreciate it, but I simply can't take this."
Well, it's not like you're taking it, it's for others.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am sure.
In that case, I'll not look a gift in the horse in the mouth. And I'll take the gold from you and thank you again. Say, by the way, are you feeling all right?
Huh?
No, but that's always the case.
Some sort of long-lasting illness? You sort of look a little under the weather.
You could say that.
Sort of squints a little bit. He watches his eyes glow like a verdant green color as he looks at you. He stands up a little straighter. I see. You're you're different than other folks. I see you're you have a little bit more in common than with the folks here than most. He sort of gestures down towards the graves.
I was returned for a reason.
Wish you luck with that purpose then. It's noble to have a purpose.
Noble, crazy, but a reason nonetheless.
Killian,
Yes,
can we try and make tea out of you sometime?
absolutely not.
Oh.
You understand the tea is the dead people, right?
I mean, we share a lot of qualities besides the like walking around and living. Who's to say that you wouldn't make a good tea? I mean,
Killian
for
doesn't
all
know how
we-
to feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, technically, I might be in the same boat. I mean, I might make a good tea too. We could always try it out. Try everything once.
You
It'd be really weird though, because I think it would have to be bath water, and I'm not 100% sure I'm on board with that.
you see Caduceus looks at you and his eyes go with that verdant color again.
No,
and
it's best not you do that.
shakes his head and goes, "You're not you're whatever it is that you are, you're different than your friend."
Oh. Well, that's disappointing. But it's the differences that make us friends. So I like that we've created an economic crisis here. This is above board. He's quickly running out of clothes and money to buy the clothes. We've started a depression in the Grove for Caduceus Clay.
I gave him money for clothes.
What?
I gave him money for clothes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was the start of an economic crisis for Caduceus Clay, who was trying to give money to people and buy more clothes. You're trying to stop the Great Depression of the Bone Yard from
Yeah,
happening.
and 10 gold is a very good step in preventing that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And I
Of gold.
apologize. It's the Blooming Grove or the Bone Orchard, not Boneyard.
Oh.
Caduceus will tell you all I'll take good care of your friends and you just stop on by when you're on your way out. Be sure to say hi. I appreciate you bringing these people to me that I can help them.
I appreciate your help.
Yeah. You know what?
What? Hit me with some knowledge.
Cast Fireball.
32? Don't need to make them.
He looks over at all of y'all. He sees a fairy sorcerer. None of you use. He'll look over towards you, Killian, and say, it'll be good for you and your folks. Like I said before, if you all were able to survive as long as possible, you're on a path that would help the Blooming Grove, but you're also on a path that'll help them with their friend, and that has helped all of these folks as he gestures to the dolls. In service to that, I'd like to try to help out and make sure you're watched over as well. And he takes a pendant that looks like there's like 3 long red gemstones and 2 hands that seem to clasp over them with a gold chain. He hands it over towards you.
What is that?
This will make it's a periapta wound closure. We'll make sure that you, if you fall down, you don't stay down. Everything in life has its time to die, and that's something that we've hold dear here at the Bone Orchard, but this will be here just in case your time comes too soon.
I'm gonna side-eye Killian. Varnox side-eye Killian and be like, I think his time's already come and gone.
Yeah. Melora's blessing to you all, and may the Wild Mother bless your steps. And with that, you all are thanked, given this gift as a parting gesture. Caduceus will return back inside, allowing the door to close.
Head to the river.
Into the river. I'll keep that same survival check that you had done before, Aiden. You're able to guide the folks, your group, to the river. And from there, you turn northward and begin to head off into the Savalier Wood. as you travel, the river bends and twists and turns, and the smoke or the fog that permeates the forest, even though it is now midday, is still thick and coats the entire bottom of the forest floor. You hear these almost like whispers. You turn to look. Nothing seems to be there. The forest itself seems to cry out in pain, sorrow, and speak to you in these fading calls. You push forward, push north. Eventually, as you get to this sort of large curve in the riverbank, it seems to become a little bit more treacherous in the forest floor itself there, as there's just a bunch of brambles that overtake sections around the river, causing you to have to go up the side of a hill to go around. And Killian, Genji, not you. Killian, Kinji, and Aiden. As you crest the top of this hill, you start to make your way down the other side of the embankment when something catches the corner of your eye. This faint, bobbing yellow glow.
Do you all see that?
The glow?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you focus a little closer, you notice that this little yellow glow has a small little silhouette in it. Looks like a tiny little person.
Will-o-wisp. Fairy. Get more Fae.
Gillian, is that a Fae? You know all about it. Your buddies, but
Looks
Sandra's
a lot.
literally like, ahem.
What'd you say, Michael?
Cassandra would just kind of act like offended that you're asking Killian about the Fae.
Ah!
You watch, and it is a little figure with wings flying, and has this like pale yellow glow flying around.
How big is it? How big does it appear?
Probably like 2 inches. So about the size that Cassandra was when she shrinks down.
Oh, it's another Cassandra. We should go and check it out. Cassandra number 2. I'll yell out.
I will manifest my echo just to be safe.
As you yell, this little fairy sort of looks over and spots you, and it quickly dives behind a tree.
Can I reach out with my mind to try and talk to it?
You.
Nothing to be
What's the
scared
range
of.
on your thing?
It was 60. 1 second, I'm checking. 60.
60? Yeah, you can get a little closer if you'd like to.
Okay.
You're at this point like 100 feet out.
I'll get within 60.
Okay, you get within 60 and you reach out again, and it. What do you say?
There's nothing to be scared of.
We've gotta
Why are you
Um,
hiding?
They don't respond. You definitely connected with it, and you sort of watch as the form peeks out from around the tree and then darts back behind. Like they've definitely taken notice of you as you've gotten closer and looked out in your direction and then peeked back behind.
I'd like to look around to see if this is an ambush.
Yeah, make a perception check.
23.
23. You look around. There does not seem to be any other fairies. There don't seem to be other like creatures around in this space. You see the one that had like poked out again and then ducked behind the tree. But it itself seems to be the only person here.
Varnex, go and say hi. They need
Well, I
somebody
mean, why
that's
don't
not
we send the
intimidating.
fairy?
No, they need somebody that's not intimidating.
All right. I'll mosey on up.
As you get called not intimidating.
Hey, we got a little flying creature with us too.
You walk up and go, "Hey, we got one of your folk too." You watch as it slowly like goes around, and it looks in your direction and tries to like. You almost see it like slowly bob down and up as if scanning you, and then pulls back behind the tree.
Maybe it's playing hide and seek. You should catch it.
It pulls out again to look at you, notices that you're still there, and goes back a little faster this time.
Cassandra's gonna yell out in Sylvan and be like, "We're not gonna hurt you."
Cast Moonbeam.
Roll persuasion.
Orbital
Oh
laser.
boy. Persuasion, she's good at that. 22.
22. You watch as it slowly comes back around the corner, and the corner out from behind the tree. As it does, it comes out a little bit further than before, kind of looking around towards, sort of looking past you, Varnex, back towards the back. Looks in the direction of Cassandra, realizes that sort of locking eyes with her and scanning over the rest of the party, doing that same sort of slow up and down of scanning you all. And there's a moment of like pause to consider and reflect and like assess before you watch it decide to come fully out from around the tree and slowly float in your direction. It does come a little bit closer towards you, Varnex, since you're the one in front.
I assume you understand me.
looks at you curiously, looks back over your shoulder in the direction of Cassandra, looks back at you.
Would you feel more comfortable speaking in her language?
As it gets up closer. Does a 21 hit?
It does.
It sort of gets in a little bit closer, and there's a moment where one of the roots of the tree, very last minute, Kenji, with the highest passive perception, notices that a root is like slowly growing closer towards you, Varnex, and it rips itself from the ground and hits you across the side, wrapping itself around you, and you are grappled and restrained. And you take 16 points of damage. Actually, hold up. You take 9 points of damage, and then 7 halved to 3, so that's 12. Because half of that is acid damage. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put some folks on a board. Feel free to place yourselves. Varnex, the only stipulation is you've got to be within 15 feet of this thing.
I got a black screen.
Oh, that's right. My bad.
Same.
Let me configure lighting,
Just say I got
global
enough.
illumination. There you go.
I also have no vision.
Same.
Say, it's still
You have no vision because you're not on the board, I believe.
I still don't see
Where
anything.
where do you want me to put
Oh,
myself?
Place.
I'm here.
Let me-
I
yeah,
see
let me place
things.
y'all then. There's Yotev, there's Kenji,
Oh,
there's Killian,
incredible.
there's Varnex, there's
Hey,
your Echo. There you go. Place yourselves wherever you like. The only stipulation, Varnex, you're within 15 feet.
5, 10, 50. So I have to be here, correct?
Yes, sir.
Was he within 15 feet when the vine grabbed him?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll go right here,
Okay.
straight in the middle of the son of a bitch.
Tangero's a little bit behind him.
I
I
stayed.
would have
I,
had my echo in front of me.
I stayed back at the 60 feet.
What was that, Killian?
I would have had my echo in front of me as we approached.
Sure. All right. So, more than likely, we're not going to be able to finish this. Do we want to start combat and go through a round?
I would
I'd rather start it.
We
Later.
will.
Me personally, I'd rather call it because I'm more the F out from this weekend.
And then
We're about 20 minutes early, but we will roll initiative first thing next session.
I like that.
Perfect.
Nice.
And then, well, that way Brittany can cast Moonbeam all over the place.
Yeah, of course.
Wait,
you know.
Yeah, no. Let's play it out so we can get double haste.
Yeah.
Get the first round to establish haste, and then
yeah.
go.
For sure.
First
That's
round
a
only up to
concentration spell,
Cassandra.
right? So she can't keep concentration on both spells, correct?
Right. So
Yeah,
then
it's
she's
one or the
gonna,
other.
she's gonna
Right.
drop it. You guys are gonna be fucked for
stunned
an
for
entire
round, yep.
round. Yeah. And then she's gonna cast orbital laser and then fucking just go
Gonna
in and
drop
out.
the
Yeah, I
hammer
can
of
see how
God.
that plays out. That's what I'm saying. Is that's
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
it's no bueno. No, I'm
That's fine.
sorry. I would be all for combat, but I'm.
Oh, for sure. No, that makes sense.
Until
So
next
then we'll go
weekend.
ahead. Yep, we will go ahead and end here, and we will roll initiative first thing next week.
Yeah, good game, guys.
Good.
Woo!
Oh,